What
How's
a
it going?
wonderful intro.
I didn't know we're on. I'm sorry.
Well, we have Billy Pine here today. You might know him as a writer or director for Circus of the Dead. My first question is, when did you first come up with the idea of Circus of the Dead, and what inspired the idea?
Okay. I come up with Circus of the Dead is I've been doing like haunted houses that you go through, around in October. I've been
Yeah.
doing those since I was like 10 years old. And I designed my own. And I guess in about 2001, I was doing a military one with like Resident Evil zombies and stuff. And somebody goes, "Don't do clowns because that'd be too scary." And then I started thinking, well, what if I do a clown one? And I did a clown one and I called it Circus of the Dead Murder Maze. So the movie was born out of a haunted house that I did every October for, gosh, almost 20 years now. And the inspiration was Captain Spaulding, Sid Haig from Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you pick the names for how did you end up picking the names for the clowns?
That's a very, very good question. We'll start with the littlest one. His name's Jumbo, and I thought about it's what is that called, an oxymoron? It's like you say a jumbo shrimp, but a shrimp is small, so it seems silly.
Yeah.
So that's why I called him Jumbo, because he was the smallest. And then you got Noodle Dome. Noodle Dome. Well, I actually want to say Noodle Dome because I want to see how she signs that. Noodle Dome. Oh, spell it. Okay. So he's actually the name of a road to a town on my way to Dallas I would see on the highway. And I just thought it was a silly name, so I liked that one. Mm-hmm. And then there's Mr. Blister. His name come because we're going to call him Zippo after a lighter. And whenever you make a movie, you have to get like clearances so that way you don't get sued, by Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper or somebody. And Zippo didn't like the fact that we're using their name for a clown. So I had to think of something really fast. And we come up with Mr. Blister Bottoms. And that's how he got his. But he's like a chain smoking clown. And then for Popcorn, my buddy and co-writer, Lee Ankrum, he liked the name Popcorn. I didn't like it that much. It didn't sound very cool to me. But now I can't imagine Bill Oberst being, having a different clown name. It's just now it's Popcorn, for life.
Popcorn, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I was like, those are some weird names. And then I was like, I wonder how you picked those.
Well, here's the thing too, Elijah, is there's so many clown movies out there. And my only goal setting out is, I know a lot of people call baloney on it when I say, but it's not really about the money when it comes to me. I would rather have made a good movie. And I wanted to do something like traditional clowns. I didn't want to do like funny ha-ha or take the cheap route. I really did the research on clowns and clown makeup and all this. And that's why the names wanted to fit that. I didn't want like Destructor, King Clown and all this kind of stuff. I just kind of was rather, they're kind of in the circus. They just happen to be killers outside the circus.
Right. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And I just want to let the audience, if they have questions for Billy, go ahead and ask on the comments.
Yeah, we'll answer them, won't we?
Yeah. My next question is, what is your favorite scene in Circus of the Dead?
Well, you put me on the spot right off the bat, but I think where he does bad things to Donald's wife's head in the clown trailer. When we were filming that scene, because this was my first feature film, and when I was on set, I was nervous, Elijah, because I was afraid I wasn't going to make a good movie. And when you're out on a set and you're shooting, you see the footage, but you don't see the completed movie.
Yeah.
So I was very scared. But when I saw Bill and Paris Randall act that scene out in front of me, and I got goosebumps, on my arms. I
Mhm.
I knew. I said, okay, you're onto something good there, and that's the scene that made me realize this is going to be a pretty good movie.
That's a good like little backstory for that scene. A little fun fact.
Well, I'll tell you another fun fact too, Elijah, is Paris Randall played Donald the clown, and he gets kidnapped, and these clowns make him do this stuff. So they're telling him with the promise that his kids will live if you do what we tell you. Well, Parrish in that scene cried a whole bunch. He cried, and he was handcuffed to a chair, and we were taking a quick break to change the film, and we are going to unlock him, and he goes, "No, leave me in here. I want to keep crying and stay in character." So we said, "Okay." Well, we start leaving that room, and I stuck my butt up against his head and farted, and then we all ran out of the room. So that's a behind the scenes thing too. So I gave him a reason to cry then.
That's another good backstory right there.
Well, we have a lot of fun because like you met Bill Oberst Jr. He's a good guy, like one of the best guys I've ever met, one of the sweetest men I ever met too. But when he's in character and on set, he's focused.
Yeah.
He's focused. And to see him in that popcorn makeup and stuff, he don't break that character, until we say cut and stuff. And it was very scary. Even knowing Bill as well as I did, it was very scary. He would sit and practice in the mirror while we were, getting things ready. And man, it gave me the willies sometimes just seeing him, It's like that's how real he seemed.
Yeah. That's what makes a great actor.
Yes, and he's one of them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any favorite props that you used?
It's tough to say, but yeah, I think my favorite prop was a prop penis. It's they painted a clown head on it, and Bill Ward in the movie. They ask me all the time, was that real? And I say it didn't taste real, but it was my favorite prop to say the least. I took it to the film conventions, the horror conventions, and all the fans would come by, and we'd keep it hidden, and anybody that wanted to see it could see it, and they usually wanted to touch it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of pictures out there on the internet.
Yeah, that's a funny story. I love that. In the comments, Courtney Webb asks, Billy Pond, would you ever consider making a family-friendly film, like a scary film for kids?
I do, and I have a really good one too. When I was, I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, I got cancer really bad. I lost all my hair, Elijah. I lost my nose hair. I lost my armpit hair. I lost my eyebrows and everything. And I was in bed and really couldn't get out of bed. And I was on, drugs for chemotherapy and stuff. And I come up with this idea for a movie that's exactly what she's saying. And it could be a darker Disney type of thing, but I think it's probably one of the best plots I've ever come up with. And it's very heart touching. I think it's a very, very beautiful movie. So the answer is yes. And I do see myself going that way someday.
That's a great story. That's a sad story. But I mean, when people watch that movie, they're like, oh, that's where it came from,
Yeah. Well, see, Elijah, in life, it gets tougher. It's like I like kids in not a creepy way, or maybe in a creepy way, but I like the fact that it's sometimes they're forced to grow up too quickly these days. And I think it's very important, for you and the younger generation to, keep that imagination and those dreams alive. Too much responsibility, too young, and working and making money and all that stuff. It's just kind of sad because it's bad enough when you get older like me and you get cancer and stuff like that. I look back on my younger years and say, man, I'd give anything to go back. So that's what I always say is like, just remember you're young and have a good time in life and don't take things too serious right now.
Yeah. Courtney Webb again. You don't have to answer. Oh, from me. Have I ever seen the Circus of the Dead? No, I have not. But one day, my mom won't let me watch it.
I don't. That she's a good mom.
My dad for sure will, but if
Yeah.
he let me saw it, my mom would kill him. So.
Well, my question is, Elijah, have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Say it again.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
No.
Have you ever hung out at the gymnasium?
Like at a hotel, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like movies about gladiators?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
My next question is do you have a favorite clown?
Out of my clowns?
Yeah.
I mean, no. I guess if any of them means anything, it'd be Noodle Dome, because he's played by Ryan Clapp, and he's one of my best friends. Also, Rusty Edwards is one of my best friends, but I knew Ryan Clapp first because we worked together. And we did a fake trailer in 2007 called Circus of the Dead. And that's kind of where the whole idea came up about doing a movie someday. So I guess if I had to pick, I would say Noodle Dome, only because he's been around the longest and he's kind of the one that started this whole ride, was Noodle Dome.
Wow. That's great.
And he doesn't talk. When you watch it, he doesn't talk. He makes like art out of people. He'll like take, dead bodies and make lamps and bubblegum dispensers and sprinkler systems and puppets. And he's very creative and stuff. And if you met Ryan Clapp, he's the sweetest, most gentle man in the world, but he's like 7 foot tall and 400 pounds. But he's the sweetest guy in the world. But in the movie, I made it where he's a little slow, and he doesn't talk. So.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. Can you tell us about Circus of the Dead 2?
Yes. I'm hoping it doesn't stink as bad as part 1. First off, what I'm doing, Elijah, for part 2. Okay, here's how this come out: is that a lot of filmmakers make a lot of movies, but I've noticed it's hard for me, Elijah, because I go in such a deep thing to write. I kind of almost go into a depression to write. Like they always used to say about those blues musicians who, to write sad songs, you'd have to live the blues. And I feel like I got to kind of live the blues to write a sad movie. So I was going to do a movie called Cowboys from Hell starring Brad Potts. And Brad Potts is a guy who played the trooper in Circus of the Dead. And he only come down for 2 days because it was a small part, but we become best friends, and we talked every 3 or 4 days, and, just really like talking to each other. And he played the main character in this Cowboys from Hell, but he passed away of a heart attack a couple months ago. And it hurt my feelings so bad and made me so sad that I just couldn't go make that movie right now. So then I started listening to the fans, and the fans were just, love Circus of the Dead so much. I said, let's revisit this movie and make it even better than the first. Let's bring back Bill and the other clowns and do this as a love letter to the fans. Let me make the movie that the fans want and still be a good movie, and just, put in the kitchen sink. And in case this is my last ever movie or something, I want it to be the best one I possibly can. Because like I was telling you, it's just sometimes it seems like life is going by too fast for me. And I just want to make as many movies as I can before I pass away someday. So that's why I put Circus of the Dead on there, and just to improve on what I did on the first one.
That's a really sad story, but
yeah.
I mean, I could tell people cannot wait for Circus of the Dead 2. I could tell.
Well, when you get old enough to watch it, maybe we'll have a watch party together. And we can film you watching it, you and me watching it on video. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That'd be awesome. And maybe you cast me and my dad in a.
I might do that. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, I've talked to your dad. That's how I met your dad. I want to say he's written me a couple of times. I never get mad at anybody reminding me, because I meet so many people, Elijah. So it's like staying fresh on my mind is the best thing to do, because when I'm writing and stuff like that, I go in and out of this thing, and I just write. So your dad has been very nice to me, and I'm remembering him, and I got him on the list and everything. So we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now we have 100 questions here.
Okay.
And you can pick a number 1 through 100, and we'll go to that number, and there'll be a question there, and we'll ask it for you. So what's your first number?
I'm gonna pick 70.
70. If you had 3 wishes, what would you wish for?
Well, I guess the first wish would be more wishes.
Yep.
But
There we go.
that's an easy one. And this is gonna sound super sappy and like I'm super full of crap, but definitely world peace. That everybody would get along and stuff, because I think that's kind of really all we need. I would wish for all these like cancer and stuff to be cured and not have an issue like that, and maybe even like of people abusing other people and stuff like that kind of stuff to be stopped.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's better than I would like the world's biggest gummy worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty random.
Yes, very.
What's your next number?
I'm gonna say 13.
13. If you could switch bodies with somebody, like Freaky Friday style, who would it be?
Okay, let's see. Well, I'd definitely like to be younger and more active. I would say, and this is anybody in time, I would like to switch bodies with Bruce Lee. I'd like to be Bruce Lee for a day.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. He's the dragon, the little dragon. I'm the fat dragon.
What would you do for that whole day? What would you do for that whole day if you were inside his body?
I'd probably go to other karate dojos and start fights and beat everybody up.
That's a good one. I like it.
But only for movies, not in real life.
What's your next number?
I'm gonna say 54.
54. What's the craziest or funniest thing you've ever done?
I just had something the other day that was really good, because I'm always doing pranks and doing crazy things, and I'm trying to think of a good one that's appropriate for your show. We used to do a lot of prank calls back in the day. I'm drawing a blank on that. Give me a second on that one, though. I had a once before, we were at the movie set, and I had some blank guns, and the person that was supposed to get there first and unlock it, I didn't tell him I was already in there, hiding in there with the ski mask. And when he come in, I jumped out with that and said, give me your money. And then I started shooting at him with the blank gun, and it scared him real bad. So maybe that was the meanest thing I ever done.
That's great. That's great. That's really fun. Yeah.
There's one time too on Doll Boy, if somebody was opening that one, and I stripped down to my underwear and hid in the bathroom. And so when he come in there and turned on that light and come in there, I come out screaming. So I don't know if he was screaming because I scared him or because I was like fatting in my underwear. Yeah.
That's funny.
When you get your movie friends and you're on set, it's serious, and we take it serious, but boy, we have a lot of fun too.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I really try to get Bill to break character sometimes when he's acting real serious in the movie by saying a joke, and he works hard. They work hard not to laugh, when I say things like that. But we have fun too. That's for sure. Yeah. We have a lot of fun on those sets, playing jokes, saying jokes, all that stuff.
I could tell by how many stories you have of doing these pranks and stuff.
And those are the nice ones. We probably do some real bad ones that couldn't be on TV, or I might get arrested.
What's your next number?
Let's see. 21.
21. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, I I went to China with my dad in 2005. Um, I had some kind of bird on a stick. It was like on a stick and it was roasted, but I want to say maybe the most weirdest thing, and it tasted really good. And I don't think it's good for, like now I feel bad because they say it's like, I don't know if it's endangered or whatever, but shark fin soup.
Huh.
I had shark fin soup and I had bird nest soup. And bird
Wow.
nest soup I didn't like as much because it actually uses a bird nest.
Ew. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But the shark fin soup was really good.
Interesting. Wow. Huh.
I had chicken feet there too.
Wow. That's crazy. That's really weird. Yeah.
You ever get those big full chickens on the back of it? There's a chicken butt, right? It's like it looks like a little spade off a card, and you can eat that meat on the sides. Now the middle's got a little bone, but that's the best tasting meat in the world. And my dad was a Chinese cook that cooked Chinese food, and he always said the best tasting thing is that chicken butt. So if you ever get a chance to eat a chicken butt, you should eat a chicken butt, Elijah.
Okay, I will.
Right. Okay. Make sure they're cooked though. Don't try it when it's raw. Don't try it when they're alive.
Oh yeah, especially not when they're live.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your next number?
We'll pick some of my favorite numbers. Let's do I did 70. Let's do 71.
71. Who's your best friend growing up, and do you still keep in touch with?
Growing up as a kid, I think it would be Roger Brown. We played soccer together. His family moved around a bunch, and my family moved around a bunch, but we always ended up back at the same place. He's up in the Dallas area, and I'm in West Texas now. We do talk to each other maybe once every 2 or 3 months, and we still keep in touch. The bad thing about that, though, is when you get my age, it's usually we're calling each other to tell, one another that somebody we know has passed away. I think the last time I talked to him, he said his mother passed away. So it's good to hear from him, but sometimes it's bad things. But he's been in my life forever and a day.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, it's always good to have a friend you've known for so long.
I got pictures of us on those pictures when you're on a soccer team with the other friends. Yeah. I've got some on him where I guess I was probably about 6 or 7. That's how long I known him. And wow. I'm 53 now. I had to think about it. I had to count and take my shoes off to count that high. But yeah, it's been since I guess I've known him since 76, 77, 1976 or 1977.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. What's your next number?
Let's go backwards and go, because my favorite era of music is probably 69, 70, and 71. So let's go 69.
Okay. Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero, I'm going to say the Hulk, because that's who I relate to the most. Sometimes I feel like my temper and my rage, I think I understand him, as being that monster and stuff like that. I love superhero movies and watch them. And sometimes I dream, I said, wow, what if they give me a superhero movie to do? What would I like to do? I like the Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about, I like Iron Fist. He was on the Marvel's Defenders, but they didn't do the show very good. And I like this one that was called Master of Kung Fu. That was Marvel Comics too back then.
Okay.
It was kind of a Bruce Lee ripoff. And of course I like Batman too, the whole detective thing. Everybody loves Deadpool. That would seem like it'd be a good movie for me to direct and write on that one, I think, because it's kind of rated R, like me. But yeah, I love superhero movies. I'll watch as many as I can and watch them all.
That's my dad loves Deadpool.
Deadpool is good.
So does my mom.
And that new trailer looks really good.
Oh yeah, I saw it during the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the Super Bowl, did you watch it?
Yes.
Who did you want to win?
I wanted KC to win because I'm a Cowboys fan. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you're not supposed to like the 49ers. And that's why I rooted for them. Patrick Mahomes he went to college here near us out here in West Texas.
Really?
So there's a lot of Patrick Mahomes fans, and we kind of root for him. I root for him unless he's playing in the Cowboys.
Do you have a favorite villain?
I definitely. I mean, I'm going to say the Joker for sure.
Yeah.
Let me think. I'd say Popcorn for sure. Let's see, superhero villains. I had a lot of these. No, my girlfriend's yelling Carnage, which he's pretty cool. Venom. She's a little bit more modern than me. I'm kind of old school. She always says I'm old, and I was like, I know. But see, there's no, when we were young, Elijah, you'd go to the store and for 10 cents you can get a comic book, and there were no tablets or internet or nothing like that. So it's like that's how I read and learned to write creatively, was because of comic books. I just loved them. I loved them so much. You know what I'm gonna say is Kingpin.
Kingpin, that's a good one.
I just love the way the character, and especially how Vincent D'Onofrio is something he's been acting. He's just so good, such a great actor, and it's just I like that kind of stuff. But probably the Joker, hands down.
I really love Venom. And
Venom. That's what Kelly said is Venom.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. She's how old are you?
11.
11. See, Kelly's about 11 years old too, I think, when it comes to superheroes. She plays Lego superhero games a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your next number?
Let's go to 81.
81. What 3 words might you use to describe yourself?
I guess let's go triple F. Fat, funny, and freaky. It's called triple F.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that.
Well, you know, I was always a big guy. So I didn't get picked on much in school, and I didn't know about bullying stuff, but I've noticed that's gotten really bad, and people get picked on, and, you know, they even kill themselves over that stuff. And I remember hearing Bill tell a story too, is Bill said he was very overweight as a kid, and that the only way he could get bullies and stuff to leave him alone was to be funny. Yeah. And that's something I learned too early on, is I just tried to be funny. And, you know, then I started getting in good with teachers and all that kind of stuff. And that helps. And getting into this movie business, I've met so many people and been friendly and funny that you never know you're going to meet your next, you know, investor for your movie, or, you know, your next best friend. So it's like, I think that's an important thing, is to be funny, you know.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Being fat, that's not so important, but it's okay. Being freaky is just, I don't know how that happened. I'll probably have to blame my mom and dad on that one.
That's funny. That's great. What's your next number?
Let's go to, I'm thinking 33.
Okay. Have you ever caught your kitchen on fire?
I want to say I did, but it was a long time ago when I was a bachelor. Now I've caught my barbecue grill outside on fire a whole bunch. Like it gets bigger than it should sometimes. And Kelly, the girlfriend, caught my rocking chair outside on fire. We almost burnt the whole house down on that one. It scared the heck out of us.
Wow.
But no, we're pretty good about that. I'm like a worry wart. You know what I mean? Like, I worry about everything. So I make sure the fireplace is off before bed. I'll check the stove, the oven hundreds of times just to make sure. So,
well, I mean, it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What's your next number?
Let's do 31.
31. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or speak any language?
Yeah, I think animals on that one. Because
That'd be awesome.
you could get help on the computer talking to somebody, like you could use a
Yeah,
program, but I have never seen a program to talk to an animal yet, so that'd be pretty
right.
darn cool.
You would definitely help a lot of research on animals too.
I would. I
So,
would. I would.
yeah.
And if I was single, I'd be like saying, "Hey, Miss Hippo, what you doing later tonight?" You know? And that's probably what I would do.
Yeah. And if you could talk to animals, it would definitely help your film business. Tell them
It
what to do
would.
if you want an animal in your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just be cool just to be like a fat Tarzan.
And we'll do one last question. Do you
Okay.
know any sign language?
I don't. Kelly was trying to teach me some earlier, but my attention span is pretty darn short. So what I want to do is, because I saw you teach Bill. So my question is, like, I live in Texas and there's a big Hispanic culture. And the first thing I learned when I was picking up Spanish is dirty words. So in sign language, is there any dirty words?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's learn those.
All right. Sure. Why not? All right. Never mind. My dad.
Let's see. Now, do you want me to pick out something I want to learn in sign language?
Say it again.
Yeah, you could say like Circus of the Dead might be good in sign language.
Circus of the Dead. Cool.
Okay.
So we got C.
C.
I.
I.
R.
R.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm spelling it. C.
C.
U.
U.
S.
S.
And then of.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah. And then the.
Is that right? The.
Yeah, T. H.
H.
E.
E.
And then you could do dead.
Dead had a thing.
Dead.
That's why I was wondering if it didn't have one thing. Circus didn't make like a tent. And little elephants going around.
Circus.
Circus.
Yeah.
You know what those? I did kung fu, Elijah, when I was young. Those look like a tiger claw, your eagle claw, your crane.
Yeah.
You could be a Chinese ninja assassin.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you for your time.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Yeah, and then
I hope to meet you. I hope to meet you and your dad someday. It would be a lot of fun.
that'd be awesome. Yeah. And then I would like to thank our interpreter M, our awesome interpreter. We're super thankful for her wasting her time doing this for us.
And putting up with my baloney. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. Cool.
See you guys.
See ya.
I might still be in the show,